Okay, this is Wayne Bill Allen. Today we're going to talk about how I hate budgets, but find it necessary for running and growing my business. The article goes into a lot of reasons why we did it, but I thought it would be useful if you could see how I budget. I budget in a lot more detail, and I know I'm a CPA, so this is easy for me. Have your CPA help you set it up, but truthfully, the advantages I get out of this way outweigh the time I spend on it. This is actually my management partner. All right, so let's break into and like I said, once you learn how to do this, it's really not hard. There's nothing here other than basic spreadsheet skills, nothing dramatic. So I start at the very bottom, and you can see this is my fee budget. So I sit down and I start off with the first thing I do is I put in everybody that owes me money. Plus, like this particular client, I'm kind of guessing at what they're going to be paying me that's expected non-tax return work. So I put in some other stuff in here. And you could separate this into two parts. It could be just your receivables and then another section that has both. But for me, this works. So like I said, whatever works for you. So I'm putting in, and normally I keep a rolling 12 months. In other words, as 1 month pops off, I add a month on the end so that I'm looking 12 months in advance. Okay. But I came out of tax season, haven't had time to do it yet. And you notice since May's gone, I think it looks like my wife's moved a lot of it over. She hasn't updated for June yet. She sits down once a month and fixes it. You can see right here, I've eliminated the client names for obvious reasons, and we're putting in here what I expect to get done and when I think they're going to pay me. Now it's not rocket science. It's not perfect. It's a budget, so I'm doing my best. We do some outsourced accounting. These are monthly pays. So these are the people who are in there, and how, who hasn't paid me yet as of whatever date this was updated. I really can't tell you. I bet you I can tell you. It was probably updated as of May 15th. Okay. So, this tells me who is out there, and, I can kind of get a good feel for how much they pay me. On a monthly basis, it's like, okay, that's $10,000 worth. I need to make sure that we're taking care of these clients. And then, once a month I'll look at it and see who I need to stay on top of. I've kind of added this is kind of an oddball one that most budgets don't have, but these are people that I've talked to, have a pretty, better than 80 to 85% sure that I'm going to be adding these people in the time frame that it looks like I'm going to add them. I copied that a little too far. I'll do that a lot of times. Sometimes you can treat this any way you want. This can be work in process, things that you're going to be working on. You have, but you haven't really finished yet. You can call it what you want. I know what I'm calling mine on purpose because this is what I'm trying to get put in. And again, I'll often look at it and go, well, if I can get all this done, and add another $5,000 a month, so it gets me motivated to make sure I get these guys up here in this time frame, run, set up and started around the time I want to get them set up and started. And we got my prepaid work. We talked about that in some of my articles, how I got some tax people prepaying me, and it, kind of shows me, hey, I want to keep pushing this. Again, this budget helps motivate me as much as anything, because look, that adds that much to my budget. Now I got all the extensions. We do a ton of returns, and a lot of them, especially this year, are extensions. So we kind of try to guess when they're going to come in. That's our individual extensions, our corporate tax extensions, trust extensions, partnership extensions. And then down at the bottom I have non-scheduled work, because there's always some stuff that I end up billing for, and I take my low average. I mean, my average is between 1,000 to 2,500 a month. I always put in 1,000 because the other part will offset what I'm going to be probably new business or expenses that I wasn't planning on. And this is kind of my current customers and a few prospects projected what I think I'm going to get monthly. All right. At Now this is collections, obviously, and then at some point I'll put in what my collections are, estimated collections for the year, and here's my prior year, so I can kind of get a feel. Okay, so I'm on path, basically projected for a 15.8% increase right now from current customers or current prospects without any marketing whatsoever. The second tab down here is cash budget. Now here it just carries over, the billing from the other. You see that 348,670 is the same amount that was over here. So it's just bringing over the totals is all it's doing. I have a couple of non-business income checks that I receive, some rent income, and we have some automatic bank payments, house payments and business payments. There's a lot. My wife is always complaining about these. Business operating bills, I didn't get rid of them because they don't have names. Medical insurance, postage, rent, telephone, all the same crap everybody has. Other business payments, unusual stuff that we may have. Payroll, I don't have the employee's name in here, payroll tax. And we do a little weird. We actually, instead of having two budgets, a personal budget and a business budget, just basically add a personal part right here. I don't recommend that necessarily, especially if you have other partners involved. I'm the only one at the moment, though we're probably bringing in other partners down the road, in which case I'll get rid of this and this will end up on our own personal budget. And what we basically do is simple math. We take the beginning of the month, subtract the expenses, come in here, got our beginning cash balance. We got kind of a hidden number, and she's projecting us to be pretty low right now, which is not surprising because a lot of our receivables is paid in June, July, and August, just the way it naturally works. But you can see, if I were to get no new clients, we're sitting with a decent amount of cash at the end of the year. Kind of, I've had times where that was a negative at some points in here, and I needed to get my butt in gear. And, I can tell you what happens here, pay taxes. Anyways, put a little bit of new business in here. I don't put a lot in. I easily do more than this in new business without any kind of advertising at all. But I keep it conservative for myself. Otherwise, I'll feel like, I don't have to do anything. It's a motivational thing as much as anything. I don't need to do anything. I'll just sit here and get the whole thing running without me having to worry about it. And then new products. We have a couple of new products that we're planning on doing, and it keeps me motivated to see what I think it'll bring in if I just get it launched. So, that's where we're at. Now I'm getting ending cash with the new business, cumulative new business, what I'm budgeting. I can survive if I didn't do anything. It'd be better if I did something. So, this is how we use it. You can see as I'm talking through this, we use it for a lot of things. We use it for collecting. We use it for making sure we're doing customer service. We use it to keep track of our expenses. Running a business is expensive. You can see we kick out a lot of cash. That's personal in there too, but we don't really spend a hell of a lot personal. So it's just like every other business. It's expensive. Some other things we do down at the bottom. I keep track of reoccurring billing because that's one of my goals is to try to get my monthly billing to pay the bills. Billing history, I don't know what that is. That's something my wife's doing. So we got some other things that we use our budget for. So as you can, I think that's her trying to pay off what little credit cards we got left. So it's worked for us pretty well. That's probably what that is. Anyways, it's got names on there, so I'm not going to go through it. So as you can see, we use the budget. We spend a lot of time on the budget. We use the budget for a lot of things. I would say any business that is attempting to be in business without using a budget is being foolish and really needs to rethink their position.